Hello everybody, and welcome to the Clark County Public Library program Read and Build Storytime. My name is Miss Amanda, and today I'll be reading you a story and showing you a building challenge that you can do at home. Today we'll be reading the whole story. Words by Vivian McInerny, illustrations by Kenneth Lit Lamug, with permissions from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Zia had a hole in her pocket. That didn't stop her from stuffing small things in it, such as gumballs, sparkly rocks, and jumpy frogs. Sometimes they stayed, sometimes they fell through and got lost. Zia paid no attention. The hole in her pocket grew bigger and bigger. Such a big hole. Until one day, Zia herself fell right through. Oh no! This, of course, was rather peculiar. Zia might have been afraid, except that this was an imaginary hole, so it could only be as scary as she allowed, which was, in this case, not scary at all. I hate scary stories, Zia said. She sat quietly at the bottom, where holes and thoughts run deep, and considered what to do with such an obviously wonderful hole. The best ideas usually came to her when she went fishing. A fishing hole is just what I need, Zia decided. She filled the hole with water from the garden hose. She found her fishing pole, convinced a wiggly worm to sit on the hook as bait, and waited. After some time, she felt a nibble. Zia reeled in a fat fish with bulgy eyes and fancy fins. The fish smiled a fish lip smile. The only thing better than catching a fish, as far as Zia was concerned, was letting a fish go. The fish flopped a fin in thanks, which was polite, but rather drippy. Fortunately, Zia wore her swimsuit beneath her clothes, so she knew just what to do next. I officially declare this a swimming hole, she said. Zia did a cannonball because she liked to make a splash. She did the dog paddle and the butterfly because she liked animals. She floated on her back just because. Looking up, Zia spotted one fluffy cloud shaped like a thirsty lion. He needs a watering hole, Zia said. The lion came down from the blue sky and lickety-lapped up the water. An anteater, 2 giraffes, and a slithery snake soon followed. The greedy lion, hoping to scare away the other animals, told them that a green crocodile with sharp teeth lived deep down in the watering hole. The giraffes found the lion's story difficult to swallow. "Do you know what bugs me?" said the anteater between snacks. "I believe the lion's lying." "Sounds like nothing but a tale to me," hissed the snake, who was really not much more than a tail himself. Tired of their bickering, Zia held her nose, dove down to the bottom of the hole, and pulled the plug. The water swirled around like a wet tornado. Zia swirled around with it. Fortunately, she was too big to go down the drain herself. Unfortunately, Zia found herself sitting at the bottom of an empty hole, an empty, muddy hole. So she made 127 mud stairs and more pies than she could count, and climbed right up out of the hole. Then she sat on the edge, feet dangling, certain that such a big hole must be useful in a big way. "Think big," Zia told herself, And as is often the case when thoughts turn big, they turn to elephants. Zia decided to catch one. She covered the hole with her favorite blanket and put 6 peanuts in the middle. After some time, an elephant came lumbering along, spotted the peanuts, stepped onto the blanket, and crash! He was caught. Zia was delighted. The elephant was not. Only the cruelest person can ignore the tears of an elephant, and Zia was not the least bit cruel. She tried to help the elephant out of the hole, but he was too heavy. Instead, she decided to help the elephant dig the hole deeper and deeper, all the way to the other side of the world. They said goodbye in India, which is really where the elephant belonged anyway. "Send me a postcard," Zia said. Zia did so like to get mail. "I won't forget," the elephant promised. In a hurry to get home, Zia jumped back down the hole. She fell fast. She fell faster. She fell so fast her hair fell up. She arrived back home just as the first snowflakes began to fall. And this was rather peculiar because it was July. But Zia was not one to complain about snow at any time of year. Zia filled the hole with water for a second time. Then she laced up her ice skates and made perfect figure eights on the frozen surface. Unfortunately, the blades were too sharp and they cut a hole in the ice. But Zia understood that a hole with a hole could be doubly fun. She lifted the hole, tipped it on its side, and rolled it down the street, whacking it along with a stick. It rolled along quickly until she came to the bottom of a steep hill. Then the hole rolled backwards. Oh no! And fell right on top of her. And there it stayed for 2 whole pages. After a while, Zia crawled out and once again considered what to do with the hole. A sensible girl who knew to avoid danger whenever possible, Zia circumvented the hole, which is a fancy way to say she walked around it. Because the hole was round, Zia found herself walking in circles. And because Zia liked to run in circles, she soon caught up with herself. "This is making me dizzy," she said to herself. Herself agreed. Zia climbed up a nearby tree for a rest. From high up in the branches, the hole looked rather small. So small, in fact, Zia thought she could fit the whole thing in her pocket. And so she did. The end. Zia is very good at using her imagination. Now I'm going to show you a building challenge that you can do at home. For our building challenge today, we're making a little run for some pom-poms. For this building challenge, you'll need some paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls, and you can tape them to a wall or something like this, and use some masking tape. I've got some pretty blue masking tape, and you can cut little slits in them to catch the pom-pom. This takes a lot of practice to build. Let's try it. Oh, almost. We did it! Thanks for listening. Bye.